What If Struck Venom, written by Phillips and art by Jethro. Years ago, during the Secret Wars, Peter Parker received a black new costume. He wore it for a while, but later found out after Reed Richards conducted some tests that the costume was alive. Peter managed to detach the living costume and Reed took custody of it. Eventually, the costume ended up at the Fantastic Four's Baxter building. Ben Grimm, also known as the Thing, enters the Baxter building searching for Reed Richards. He is disappointed that Reed seems to have forgotten about their anniversary at the transformation by the cosmic rays. As Ben wanders in, he hears a noise and noticing a tank containing the Venom symbiote. Curious, he wonders whether it is alive. Just then, Reed walks in and confirms that it is indeed alive based on his research. Ben interrupts, emphasizing that Reed forgot their anniversary. Reed insists that he didn't forget, he just thought Ben might want some time alone after a difficult few months. Ben presses Reed for the truth about his feelings of guilt regarding the transformation into a monster. Reed reassures him that he is doing everything possible for him, that Ben is like family, and that he would do anything for him. At that moment, Sue's voice comes through the intercom, informing Reed that a reporter is waiting for him, which leaves Ben alone with the symbiote. Ben starts talking to the symbiote, expressing that Reed will never understand his struggles. He reveals that he still receives judgmental looks and gasps from people everywhere he goes. He notices the symbiote trying to escape but tells it that he can't let it out. The symbiote then communicates with him mentally, claiming it can help. Ben decides to release it, and the symbiote envelops him. Reed walks in to see Ben covered in the symbiote and asks what he has done. Ben explains the symbiote cold to him, that it understands his situation and that it wants to help. Reed warns him that the same symbiote affected Spider-Man. While it enhanced Spidey's abilities, it also compromised his consciousness. Ben, however, dismisses Reed's concerns and uses the symbiote to transform back into his human form. Reed insists that they will find another way, but Ben dodges the attack, stating that he has found a way to be cured. Although he knows that Reed's ego won't accept him being cured, not by him, Reed reassures Ben that this isn't truly who he is. In response, Ben snatches the blaster and breaks it, saying that this is the best he has felt since the accident. He demands Reed respect his decision and stay out of his way. Meanwhile, in the sewers, Kurt Connors, aka the Lizard, prowls around and senses that something has changed. He realizes the symbiote is free. Back with Ben, he revels in being his normal self, but suddenly the symbiote reacts, and he transforms back into his rocky form. He runs into an alley and encounters the Lizard, who urges Ben not to fight. The Thing, however, declares he is ready for a fight and says, "It's clobbering time." The Thing attacks the Lizard, but Kurt appeals to Ben's emotion, explaining that the Fantastic Four lied to him and continue to fear him just like everyone else. The Lizard adds his own perspective, admitting that even as a lizard, he still wants to help people, despite being seen as a monster. He suggests that the symbiote could help fulfill Ben's desire to help people. Hesitant, but intrigued, Ben follows the lizard back to his lair to examine the suit. Inside the lair, Ben finds himself restrained inside a containment tube. Skeptical, he asks if the lizard is sure this plan will work. The lizard reassures him that it will, then activates a machine that extracts the symbiote from the tube. As Ben starts to transform back into the Thing, he realizes that he's been tricked. The lizard coldly remarks that he never lied. People always fear what they don't understand. He declares that if people are going to hate him, he'll give them a reason, starting with the Fantastic Four. Back at the Baxter building, Reed and Sue are locked in an argument. Reed insists on going after Ben alone, feeling personally responsible for his friend, while Sue argues that they need the help from allies like She-Hulk or Johnny. Their debate is cut short by a security alert. The lizard, now bonded with the symbiote, bursts through the doors, his grotesque new form catching them off guard. Reed and Sue barely have time to react before the lizard smashes the floor, sending them crashing through the level below. As they hit the ground, the lizard launches a relentless attack. Desperately trying to regroup, Reed and Sue are overpowered. Meanwhile, back in the lair, Ben regains his rocky form and shatters the containment tube. But it's too late. Reed and Sue are losing. In a horrifying moment, the lizard delivers a fatal blow, killing Sue. With Sue dead, the lizard grabs Reed by the neck, taunting him with with Sue dead, the lizard grabs Reed by the neck, taunting him with sadistic glee. Reed tries to fight back, stretching his arm to entangle the lizard, but the creature viciously bites it off. Just as the lizard moves Just as the lizard moves in for the kill, Ben enters the scene and challenges him. The lizard unfazed mocks Ben's timing and before Ben can stop him, kills Reed by biting his head off. Devastated, Ben collapses to his knees, overcome with guilt and regret. He blames himself for not trusting Reed from the start. The lizard seizes the moment to manipulate him further, claiming Reed was selfish and wanted the symbiote for himself. Ben rejects the manipulation, declaring that there's no we, only himself. Fueled by grief and rage, Ben charges at the lizard with everything he has. The two clash in a brutal fight, tumbling through the air as Ben's raw strength begins to overpower the lizard. Blow after blow, Ben forces the symbiote to respond with him. When they finally crash to the ground, Ben has fully merged with the symbiote once again, while Connors lies broken and defenseless. Barely alive, weakly asks what Reed would have wanted. Ben coldly responds, I don't know, Reed's not here anymore. Then, in a fit of rage, crushes the lizard's head, ending him for good. As helicopters arrive and surround the scene, Ben stands alone. The symbiote's influence completely overtakes him, leaving behind a corrupted and vengeful thing.